Alright, we are here with another guide on Pokemon Clover Cap. That's right. This one's pretty special as we have three Pokemon to go over. All three of these Pokemon are in the same line, so this is the first time we're actually going to be doing three different Pokemon from the same line. We did a pre-evolution and its evolution, but we haven't done, the entire line, or we haven't done, three different Pokemon of the same line. Because this is a split Evo, and the reason why we're actually going to go over the pre-Evo and their evolutions is because the pre-Evo actually has a very consistent, well, not consistent, but it has an important niche that is actually very integral to one of the playstyles in Cap. But we're going to start off with the evolutions. Bluduck and Platylics. Bluduck is a pure Psychic type with 500 base stat total. Its stats are, at first glance, pretty mediocre, okay? Mostly because it uses Golduck's stats, because, it's named Bluduck, but it's gold. Golduck is blue, but it's named Golduck, so yeah. It's got pretty interesting abilities: Swift Swim, Synchronized Inversion, and a special ability known as Big Brain. If you don't know, it says it right there. It's the special version of Huge Power, which makes this Psychic type absolutely phenomenal. With Big Brain, it has like a base 200 plus. It's absolutely insane. It's one of the best special attackers in the format. And that's mostly integral due to its move pool. We'll go through its move pool right now. You see, it's got Freezing Glare, which is a just good, Psychic type move. It obviously gets Psychic as well, so you can use that as well. But you'd probably want to use Freezing Glare over Psychic because even though the Psychic chance for minus Bedef, or actually, you might also want to use Psychic. Okay, I simply only use Freezing Glare because that 10% chance to freeze the target is very good when it hits, okay? When that actually procs, that is devastating. Hydro Pump, for more coverage. Focus Blast coverage. Think Fast is a special attacking version of Mach Punch. Usually goes first, 40 power. Off of this thing, it's crazy. Usually, priority moves are weak. They don't really do that much damage. It's usually for topping things off. With Bluduck, it doesn't need to top things off with Think Fast. It can just outright kill some things. It's crazy, especially with Choice Specs. You are mostly going to want to use Choice Specs on Bluduck. That's where you get the most amount of power from Bluduck. Overall, I think Bluduck is amazing. It's one of the best Psychic types, obviously. Probably the best Psychic type that is, usable. Like, you can also run Calm Mind Agility with some other thing. It also gets Calibrate as well. Only downside is that you really have to focus on using some inaccurate moves for the most amount of power. Focus Blast having 70% accuracy, Hydro Pump having 80% accuracy, though you can sub out Hydro Pump for Scald or, Surf. So yeah. But that's basically it for Bluduck. Platylics is interesting in where I feel like it's got so many different ways to play that it's kind of hard to really evaluate. It's Psychic Fairy this time. The difference between that is that it's got Calm Mind, it's got Moonblast, Moonlight. It's so really something that's very important to this part is that it has recovery, and what's so damn important about having recovery over not having recovery is that you are mostly going to want to probably focus on being more defensive than offensive. Though that doesn't mean Platylex is only good for being defensive, right? Because its bulk isn't really that great. The thing is, right? It's got like average stats all around. 78 HP, 84 defense, 74 special defense, 101 special attack, and 96 speed. It's got simple. It's got Fairy Aura. I think you're mostly gonna want to use Simple for that +2/+2 on Calm Mind. Also gets Agility, it gets Acupressure. It also gets Hone Claws, right? So, after one Hone Claws, you can use Dynamic Punch if you really want to. Main reason why I actually left a spot here is because I actually don't know what, move you would want to sub in for this set. You can, use a Psychic type coverage move, but like that would be good. But you do get walled by Steel types. I don't think it gets Focus Blast either. Yeah, it doesn't get Focus Blast. Oh, never mind. It gets Focus Blast. So yeah, you can use Focus Blast as well. You can use. I think it gets Calibrate. It gets Calibrate. Yep. Um, this thing has a lot, a lot. So even though Platylics or Bluduck is better than Platylics in my opinion, somehow Platylics has more that it can do. It's just that that more isn't really equal to what Bluduck can do. Because the thing about Bluduck is that it does one thing and it does it well. Okay, it does one thing and it does it well. However, Bluduck also gets inversion, and that's interesting because inversion on this thing seems really crazy, but unfortunately, if you want to use inversion, you're going to have to sacrifice Big Brain. So what do you do in that situation? Well, there's a Clovermon that does that. However, if you just want to use Catmons because you're really cool, here we go. The pre-evolution of both Bluduck and Platylics, Hyduck. Forget every other ability, it gets inversion. This allows you to use Hyduck and Bluduck on the same team because that's not Dupe's Claws, its species is different, or well, it's not species clause. They're different Pokemon entirely, right? So that means you can just run a purely defensive set on Hyduck. That means Destiny Bond, Defog, Teleport, Scald, Teleport for pivoting into something else that's actually going to be using the inversion. With inversion under Bluduck, no dark types are going to be able to switch into your psychic moves or think fast, right? Defog to get rid of hazards if your other Pokemon are just purely offensive. There's your hazard removal, I guess. Teleport, obviously we said that was just for pivoting. Destiny Bond, just in case. This is a just in case moment, maybe you want to scare off your opponent into not killing your Hyduck because you still need Hyduck for your inversion. And Scald for burns. Scald is just a good move. If you ever use it, you're probably not ever going to be actually using Scald, but if you ever use it, you can get a burn chance, right? This means that each and every single one of these Pokemon in this line have a niche. They have a tool that they can use. All of them are important. All of them are really important, right? I will say Platylics is a little on the lower end. It's not the greatest thing in the world. Hyduck is obviously only used for really one thing and one thing only, to help out Bluduck and also other inversion users, usually normal types. And Bluduck is the best one, just doing insane amounts of damage, right? This thing is going to be one-shotting like half the tier. It's crazy. Only thing you really have to worry about is anything exceptionally specially defensive, but there's not really anything that's gonna be in your way. Trust me. So yeah, that's basically it. The 3 Psyche types that each have their own way of, surviving in this tier. Each one of them having their own niche. Hyduck is funny. Platylics is also funny. Bluduck is basically the best one, in my opinion. And yeah, next time, hopefully, I'll do one that's been requested. Okay. Been requested a lot. I'd say a lot, but it's one person. Anyways, take care. Oh yeah, and also, I do not recommend using physical Bluduck. That shouldn't be like a. Or actually, I don't recommend using physical Platylics. I do recommend trying it though, because it's funny. This thing gets Destiny Bond. Use Scarf Platylics, because I think that would be funny, even though it's probably not good. Anyway, that's it.